Number 5, we are going to discuss about other materials and material selection chapter. In that, certain concept we are going to discuss. That is, first one is material used for implants in human body, and selection of engineering materials. And third one is economics and environment and sustainability of engineering materials. And possible the other topics also we can cover in this video. Okay. Okay, material used as an implant in a human body. There are the different materials that have been found for suitable to use for in implants in human body. First one is a stainless steel. Okay, this steel is at least corrosion resistance among these other implant materials, such as it is used for the temporary implants only. Type of this there is 316L stainless steel is that exhibits a better corrosion resistance among all other types of material, and it is commonly used in surgical procedure to replace a biological tissue or to help stabilize a biological structure such as a bone tissue or to aid the healing process. Okay, and for this titanium alloy, the view of this high strength and corrosion resistance it has been light in weight, and titanium alloy made from aluminum and vanadium, okay, and or aluminum or niobium. This combination are going to be employed for making rods as a joint replacement and spinal clamps or casting for the pacemaker, etc. Okay, so one more another one is ceramics. So this is the view of ceramic that is inertness and wear and corrosion resistance property. The ceramics material like calcium phosphate, zirconia based materials, etc. And these materials are included glass, that is silicon dioxide, sodium oxide, calcium oxide, or other gases, combination metals, substances and glass ceramics are going to be used for variety implant applications in dental and orthopedic prosthesis. Okay, and one more is polymers. Polymers is nothing but it is for use for this fabrication and flexibility and physical properties and biocompatible nature, and various of polymers are going to be used like polyethylene fluoride and polyethylene uh, mercaptide and etc. are going to be used for orthopedic, dental or soft tissue and cardiovascular implants. So these are all the materials, and finally we are going to discuss about the smart material also, and it, for example is piezoelectric material. It is capable of transferring the acoustic vibrations into electrical signals, are used to implants the better hearing ability. Okay, cohealer for the better hearing ability, and even for the shape memory alloys, especially for the nitinol alloy capable of exhibiting the shape memory effect as well as pseudo elastic property, are used to implants in orthodontic and orthopedic and cardiovascular and neurology disorders. So these are all some the basic that material are used for the implants in human body. Okay, next one is selection of engineering material. So how you are going to select this material? So there are so vast majority of metals are available, and selecting right material for making the product demands as a number of factors to be considered. So the various factors are going to be mentioned here. The first one is material property, next manufacturing capabilities, performance equipment requirement, and availability and cost and safety and environment requirements. So material properties means the material should depends upon the intended use of product, and this product may be subjected to a load or heat or light, etc. The various material properties are we can discuss now. For this material properties, we can discuss about the mechanical properties like strength, ductility, and brittleness, and wear resistance, etc. And thermal properties like thermal conductivity, heat capacity, and thermal expansion. And for the chemical properties like corrosion resistance and humidity and acidity and alkalinity, etc. So for the electricity, electrical properties like resistivity, conductivity, and dielectric strength, these are the properties. And magnetic properties like permeability and magnetic hysteresis. And optical properties like reflection, refraction, and transmission, and absorptivity, and luminosity. These are all basic properties involved in this material. And next one is manufacturing capability. So what is the manufacturing capability? Suppose if the bulk cost of the product depends upon the manufacturing process employed. Okay, so however this material is going to be select must be easily and manufactured by a certain process or processes. Some materials have limitations for casting, and while some materials are difficult to deform and shape. And next one is availability and cost. So while selecting the material must be easily available and in sufficient quantities. So a material scarcity of restricts itself in its selection of, even though they have superior and favorable properties. Further, the cost of material selected must be low possible in order to reduce the cost of final products and compete heavily in the global market. And finally, the safety and environment. Anyhow, we have to take care of our environment. So the material must be safely performed and instead of intended functioning. And further, it is material must be easily disposable without causing harm to the environment as well as living things. And it must be noted that all not only all above properties can met in a single material, but we can ultimately compromise, thus has to be made in the selection of the particular material. So next topic is we'll discuss now, that is economics and environment and sustainability of engineering material. So in spite of all large number of materials available for use, the scientists are exploring a new material to enable engineering is to manufacture the products. Something better than a cheap and existing one. And one form of environment is perspective we are going to take care. And whatever may be the underlying the fact on how the exact and use of full range of materials that come from and return to the earth. So on one planet with all finite natural resources and ever growing population, there is a need of consider the economic, environment, and social sustainability of engineering material. Okay, so let us have a discuss what are the elements are there in this contents. That is, first one is economic consideration. In economic condition, the three things we have to take care. One is a component design, a material selection, and manufacturing cost. So economic consideration, why we have to consider, because it depends upon the three factors: the design, material selection, and manufacturing cost. Okay, so while designing this any of the component or system, the engineer must come across with a number of components that are to be made from different materials. Each component needs to be designed for greater efficiency and also an economical competitive. And the design stage is usually an initiative process, and lesser the number of iterations, that lower will be the cost of that component or system. But in case of while selecting the material, an appropriate material is going to be select depending upon the intended use for the each component. And a number of materials also is going to be initially be selected satisfy the design constraint. Then the comparison made on basis cost per unit decides the selection of material, selection of the particular material. So however, it must be noted that the material properties are given first preference and later the cost of the material. And finally, the cost of manufacturing cost also we have to consider. Suppose if you want to production forms in bulk cost, then the overall the cost of that development of the product, so it includes material, power, energy cost, and maintenance cost, labor cost, everything will be included. So these are all the components where we are going to this understood about this economic and environment sustainability of engineering materials. Even though for the more number of manufacturing stage, the higher will be the manufacturing cost, and ultimately the cost at the end of this cost is also be the component. And second one is environmental and sustainable consideration. Already we know that having some model for sustainable development, it is correlate with all these functioning areas. Like suppose the product is to be manufactured, hence the manufacturing has to direct impact to the environment, and also it is on the society in many ways. So the extraction of the materials from the natural source, it's a production in many ways, and also it is production usage, and ultimately it is disposal or recycling of that material. Okay. So moreover, the energy is used and causing harm to the living beings. Okay, moreover, the energy also is going to be used for every phase of the product development is through the consumption of natural resources like coal, oil, and etc. The waste produced from the resources are also a factor to be considered. So hence the products need to be designed in such a way that they manufactured with minimum usage of raw material and energy. So and they easy to recycle, and in case of product disposal to the environment, the material selected to make this product need to be biodegradable. So this is in simple words, we can say the sustainable use of materials, process, and practices must be our primary goal. So in any of the manufacturing industries, these are all about the environment and sustainability consideration. Let us we have a look at next video of this residual life assessment in the next video. Thank you.